dedicated his life to serving his country, both in military uniform and as a civilian. He was the longest ruling president Nigeria has ever had. Now, President Buhari has been a central figure in Nigeria's political landscape for over 4 decades, leaving behind a legacy that is as complex as the nation he led. Born in Daura, Katsina State in 1942, Muhammadu Buhari's journey was defined by a deep sense of duty and a commitment to discipline. His military career saw him rise through the ranks, culminating in his tenure as Nigeria's military head of state from 1983 to 1985. This period was marked by the famous War Against Indiscipline campaign, a stringent effort to restore order, integrity, and national pride. While his methods were often controversial, his supporters viewed them as a necessary antidote to the pervasive corruption and disorganization of the time. After years, the political wilderness, Buhari staged a historic comeback, embodying the aspirations of millions of Nigerians were yearning for change. In 2015, he achieved a monumental feat by becoming the first opposition candidate to defeat an incumbent president in a democratic election. His 2-term presidency from 2015 to 2023 was anchored on 3 pillars: fighting corruption, tackling insecurity, and reviving the economy. In his inaugural address, he famously declared, "I belong to everybody and I belong to nobody." This mantra encapsulated the man, a figure of yielding conviction, who in the eyes of his admirers prioritized the national good above all else. In an exclusive interview with Arise News in 2021, Buhari reflected on his life and time in office, wishing well for Nigerians and urging them to write his legacy.
Thank you very much for thinking that I'm okay. When I leave, I will be going to my farm daily. I will try and keep myself busy. I will try to keep on convincing Nigerians that I mean very well. And as I said, visibly, we made progress in the Northeast, we made progress in the South, but I'm overwhelmed almost by Northwest, and they are going to get it very soon.
Well, Mr. President, what will be the Buhari legacy?
Well, I will allow Nigerians to discuss it. I hope they will be fair to me. I wouldn't like to say it myself. I would like Nigerians to try and spend time when we came, both economy and security, where we were, where we have been for the 8 years and maybe around, and try to work out. I hope Nigeria will be fair to me. This is all I need.
Well, Muhammadu Buhari's legacy will undoubtedly be a subject of continuous reflection and debate, serving as a testament to the profound and lasting impact he had on Nigeria's history. He's survived by his wife, Aisha Buhari, and 10 children. May his soul rest in peace. Well, there's a video that has now gone viral, which showed the moment Buhari's family found out about his passing. Let's take a look. Touching moment, Vimbai, that video that has now gone viral, showing his family, mourning his death right there in London. A lot of conversations have been had so far. But meanwhile, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and First Lady Senator Oluremi Tinubu expressed profound sorrow on Sunday over the passing of former President Muhammadu Buhari. President Tinubu eulogized Buhari as a patriot, soldier, and statesman, highlighting his unwavering dedication to Nigeria during his term as military leader from 1984 to 1985 and as democratically elected president from 2015 to 2023. He commended Buhari's quiet strength, integrity, and commitment to unity, emphasizing his efforts to champion discipline and confront corruption. As a mark of respect, President Tinubu ordered all national flags to fly at half-staff for 7 days and has called an emergency federal executive session. Tinubu also announced that the federal government will accord Buhari full state honors. First Lady Oluremi Tinubu echoed Tinubu's sentiments, describing Buhari as a great leader who served with unwavering commitment, integrity, and a deep love for his people. Both extended their deepest condolences to Buhari's widow, Aisha Buhari, the entire Buhari family, and the people of Katsina State, praying for his peaceful repose of his soul and for his life to continue inspiring future generations. So many tributes. Former military president General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida also paid tribute to former President Muhammadu Buhari. Babangida, in his tribute, described Buhari as a deeply spiritual man who found solace in faith and who carried himself with humility of someone who believed in a higher calling. His statement reads in part, "We may not have agreed on everything, as brothers often don't, but I never once doubted his sincerity or his patriotism. His passing today is not just the loss of a former head of state or a two-term civilian president. It is the loss of a symbol, a man whose life embodied the transition of Nigeria from the old guard to the new republic, a man who even in retirement remained a moral compass to many and an example of modesty in public life. To his beloved wife, Aisha, his children, grandchildren, and the nation he loved and served, I extend my deepest condolences." Also, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, in his tribute, described Buhari as a patriot and a statesman who tried his best. He prayed for the repose of Buhari's soul, stating that he would be deeply missed.
He tried his best. Is that God will forgive him of his inadequacies and accept him into his kingdom. It's a loss to the nation, because at a time like this, we need the totality of those experience and what I may call statesmanship of all those who have had the opportunity to run the affairs of this country in the past to get us out of the situation we are in. He will be sorely missed, and may his soul rest in perfect peace.
Olusegun Obasanjo there. Quick fact check. Obasanjo is the longest-serving president Nigeria has ever had. We know that during Buhari's presidency, Obasanjo famously wrote at least 3 open letters criticizing Buhari's administration. Well, the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, also paid tribute to Buhari in a post on X, stating that the news of the former president's death came as a shock to her because she had sent him a get well message shortly before learning of his passing. Her post reads in part, "Unbelievable. I did not know just how ill His Excellency President Buhari was, and minutes after sending my get well wishes, I have just learned that he passed away. I am so very sorry. May the soul of His Excellency rest in perfect peace. My deepest condolences. Outgoing president of the African Development Bank, Akiwumi Adesina, was the last known public visitor of Muhammadu Buhari. Well, before his death on Sunday, on April 17th, Adesina met with Buhari in Kaduna to express appreciation for his support during his election and re-election as AFDB president. Well, here's a photograph from that visit. Vimbai, we have seen tributes coming from different parts of the world, not just in Nigeria. I also know that the Katsina State Governor has also sent tributes. Like I said, the Vice President is in London at the moment, bringing Buhari's remains back home.
Absolutely. I've seen tributes from Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi. I've seen President Cyril Ramaphosa of South Africa, Mada Bio of Sierra Leone. I've seen Zimbabwe. I've seen, of course, they will continue to flow in because he was, we discussed his foreign policy earlier. He was somebody who made an effort to extend a branch and make sure he was connected with the rest of the world and ensure that Nigeria was not in isolation. And he's one of those presidents who lived through the era and had to govern through the era of COVID-19 and all that the global pandemic brought. We've looked at so many aspects of his life and legacy and his time in office, his time as a soldier and as a military head of state and so forth. And I think the consensus really is that I continue to use the word paradox. And it's just a moment of humility, I think, for all those in service, whether they be at the presidential level or, at whatever level you are in public service. Just a reminder that what we do when we are in public office counts, it matters, it lives beyond us. The impact we make on people's lives, whether it be negative or positive, it lives way beyond us. I know several people who are in deep sadness and mourning today. I know other people who feel otherwise to that sentiment. And I think more than anything, it should just be a call for our leaders to just remember that beyond office there is life, not just for them, but for the nation and the people that they are elected to steward over. And just to a sobering moment where they ask themselves, how will I be remembered? I love that question that Dr. Abati asked in that media chat that they had. And, the fact that he said, it's not up to me to say what I will be remembered for, what my legacy will be. And that's what we are seeing unraveling now. I watched a comment, I believe it was Frank Tietie, I think last night on Newsnight. Or was he with Charles Anyagole? I'm not sure. And he was saying that, we would have wished for him to have lived a little bit longer, especially into this current presidency, so that we could have been able to have deeper conversations about, the impact that he had on this current administration. Of course, in his absence, those can still be had, but just robust conversations that I think need to be had, and especially around the healthcare system as well. And how much are our leaders really investing in this healthcare system and, just ensuring that there's access to healthcare for all from the highest office even to the lowest office. And I know there are also concerns around privacy and so forth. But for now, what can we do? We continue to pray for his family. We continue to pray for his loved ones, the people of Daura, of Katsina, all well-meaning Nigerians, because I think it's important to reiterate that although some may have a sour taste of his legacy, he was also loved by very many.
He was. I mean, he did have a cult following, and you're absolutely right. He was loved by many. May his soul rest in peace. More on milestones. It is with profound respect and a deep sense of loss that we at Arise News mark the passing of His Royal Majesty Oba Sikiru Kayode Adetono Ogbagba II, the revered Awujale of Ijebu land, Oba Adetono, who died at a remarkable age of 91, leaving behind an indelible legacy forged over 65 years on the ancient Ijebu throne. Ascending the throne at a young age, Oba Adetono quickly distinguished himself as a monarch of exceptional foresight and courage. He navigated Ijebu land through significant historical transitions from the twilight of colonial rule to the complexities of independent Nigeria, always prioritizing the welfare and progress of his people. His reign, spanning more than 6.5 decades, was a testament to enduring leadership, unwavering commitment, and profound wisdom. His tenure was characterized by a remarkable development in Ijebu land, including advancements in education, infrastructure, and economic empowerment. He was a staunch advocate for justice, peace, and unity, both within his domain and across the wider Yoruba nation. Beyond his developmental strides, Oba Adetono was a custodian of Yoruba culture and traditions. He meticulously preserved and promoted the rich heritage of Ijebu land, ensuring that ancient customs and festivals continued to thrive, fostering a strong sense of identity and pride among his subjects. His 65 years on the throne stand as one of the longest and most impactful reigns in Yoruba history, a true golden era for Ijebu land.
Spirit of Baba is a Miloka. That's Baba. Being blunt, being incisive, that's him. It will tell you. And that, ever since, it's been the spirit that is driving me to serve. I'm honored, Baba. I am honored. Ijebu bere láti Ijebu de o, ago Ijebu go. Itele mo ekesho Ijebu imushi.
Or may his soul rest in peace. He will be remembered as a monarch who not only witnessed history, but actively shaped it, leaving behind a legacy of peace, progress, and cultural vibrancy. Dr. Abati, over to you. I learned this morning also that you are also a biographer of the late Ogbagba. Official reviewer. I learned that at 7 a.m. this morning.
It was an autobiography.
Yes.
And then they invited me to review it at the public presentation.
Sorry
just
about
to
your
add
loss.
something
Yes.
very short in addition to all that I've said. Both men who passed the same day, President Muhammadu Buhari and the late Awujale, they were actually very close friends, and there were pictures of them, together. But despite that closeness, many who knew the Awujale will remember that he was not partisan. He was the father of all, because, I had a short stint in politics. And his door was open. Whether you were from PDP or from APC, everybody was his, was his child. And he encouraged persons across the board. And that's why for 65 years, his appointment was announced January 4, 1960. He was presented to the people of Ijebu land January 18, 1960. For that 65 years, it became a symbol, a rallying point for the Ijebu people. And, that I hope, his legacy will be respected and, they will continue in his footsteps. Now, as for President Buhari, you focus heavily on the example of President Tinubu. He has responded, sending a delegation abroad.
Yes.
Also taking care of him, paying attention to him, and all of that. I think it's a beautiful thing to see. And you also see that the former heads of state, they've paid their tributes. The only person you left out is President Goodluck Jonathan.
He has also paid his tribute, has he?
He has. In fact, he says that in his passing, Nigeria has lost one of his foremost leaders and have lost a respected colleague and elder. His legacy will continue to endure in the hearts of all who value sacrifice, integrity, passive officer, and a committed public servant. That coming from,
yes.
you know, a man who lost to President Buhari in the 2015 election shows, you know,
I think it's
a lot
remarkable.
of decency and civility.
Yes.
And across board, it shows that, you know, we are setting a different example for the people of Zambia who are in court over the burial of former President Edgar Lungu. In fact, a South African court is looking into the matter, but we don't have that kind of rancor here. We have a state that appreciates, you know, people who have served at that highest level, and definitely President Buhari will get a state burial, and, you know, all his colleagues are united in saying that, you know, he made his mark, he made his own contributions. The other details about what he did, what he didn't do, time would, you know, all of that is in the womb of time.
And like he said in that interview, I'd love Nigerians to write my legacy. Again, the general, may his soul rest in peace. Now, to celebrate real milestones, Sunday, July 13th, marked the 91st birthday